Hey, hi, hello, my name is dis.cat. This is Project Hardcover, where we're letting books be the escape. Oh my god, she's wearing the cardigan thingy! You know what that means? That's right, I'm gonna review a book. Oh my goodness, like this is redonk. I know, it has been forever since I have reviewed a book, but I have just finished this book and I have so many feels, I just need to talk about them. And that book is the wonderful, fabulous, oh so glorious 13th book in the Black Dagger Brotherhood series by J.R. Ward, The Shadows. So, I know that I haven't reviewed any of the other books on this channel, but to be fair, when I read all of the other books in this series, I wasn't on BookTube yet. But now I am, so now I can review these oh so glorious, fabulous books that I love oh so much. So that's what I'm gonna do. So if you're new to this series, really there's not a lot I can help you out with. Because this is the 13th book in this series, there's not an awful lot that I can say without spoiling just so much information. But what I can tell you is that the Black Dagger Brotherhood series follows the Black Dagger Brotherhood, which is this group of really powerful and just ridiculously awesome group of vampire assassins. And basically, each one of the books centers on a specific brother in the Brotherhood and his backstory and his journey to find love with his spunky and amazing female that, you know, heals his heart and all of that typical romance bullcrap. Except the series is so much more than that. Seriously, this book series has one of the most complex worlds I have ever seen. Really complex governing systems and different belief systems and just so much emotion and feels and character depth and just such greatness and awesomeness. Just go check out the series. It's so fantastic. Do not let the covers fool you. But this book in particular follows the Shadows, Trez and I Am, who are two characters that we've kind of been, you know, dealing with for a while. They're the two burly guys that have kind of been Revenge's right-hand guys since we first met Revenge forever ago. And they kind of had, like, no real personality. They were just these two really dark, foreboding twins that would follow Revenge around everywhere he went and threaten to snap you in half if you so much as looked at him the wrong way. Other than that, we really didn't have a lot of information to go on. But in the last book, The King, we really did start to see the different facets and the personalities of Trez and I Am and how very different they are and kind of where they come from and all of the crap that they're dealing with. And they really started to become these really interesting characters. And now they have their own book. And it was awesome. Like seriously, these books just keep getting better and better and better as they go. We keep delving into these characters that are just so freaking amazing. I love them all so much. It's not even funny. And the wit and the humor is always so spot on. This book in particular, I didn't really know how I was gonna feel about it, because again, we didn't really have a lot of connection to Trez and I Am, but let me just tell you, these two are adorable. Like really, before now, the only adorable brother in the Brotherhood was Fury. Like, it was just exclusively Fury. But now Fury has friends because Trez and I Am are adorable. They were absolutely wonderful characters to get attached to, and I am just so incredibly attached to them now. And this book was so fantastic. It was so great, funny, fast-paced, action-packed, thrilling, and absolutely heartbreaking. It was just everything I wanted to have back in my life. I didn't realize how much I missed this series until I read this book, but oh my god, I missed it so much, and I am so glad that we have a spin-off series coming for this because I need 2 of these books a year. Like, I need it. I need it. So that's it. That's really all I can tell you that isn't spoilery at all. So for all of you non-spoilery people, toodaloo. And hello, my spoilery people. Let's get down to business. So I really wasn't kidding. These books just keep getting better as she goes. I didn't realize just how much I was going to love these 2 boys as much as I did. They are just little cinnamon rolls, too good for this world. And I really do like that we got to see just how different they are, because for so long in the first books, they were just silent and stoic, especially I Am. Like, I don't think he ever spoke in the first couple of books that we saw him in. And they just really did just shadow, pun intended, revenge in everything that he did. And now they have these amazing little personalities, and they're people, and they're so freaking cute, you want to die. And it's just, oh, it's so great. I'm also really glad that we got to delve into Selena's character, and I really, really liked Selena's character. No, she wasn't the most badass female we've had in this series, but she was just so down to earth and so wonderful and charming, and you just couldn't help but love her from the minute she just popped onto the page, and it was just so fantastic. I also really like that she has cut down significantly on the really lesser heavy chapters like she did in the first couple of books. Like, the first couple of books, there would be chapters upon chapters upon chapters of us following 4 lessers and lessers around, and I understand that it is just really pivotal to the story to understand how they function, and they are the bad guys, you kind of need to know what they're doing. But it was so boring. Like, I did not care about them. So it was something that I read out of necessity. Like, I knew I needed to read those chapters because I needed to know what was going on, but I kind of had to force myself to do it. I had to, like, struggle and, you know, just go through the motions of reading those chapters. And it just, it was so not enjoyable. But we're seeing now with the later books that she has really, really cut down on following the lessers around. And I don't know why she's doing this, but I have 2 guesses. My first guess is that it's completely intentional, that she set up the first books that way, you know, going into extreme detail as to how the lesser system worked and how they functioned and how they thought and all of that stuff to kind of build up the world, so that way later on in the books she wouldn't have to dredge all that stuff out. So now when I'm reading these books, I just inherently know what the lessers are doing. I know that they're holed up somewhere, and they're trying to collect funds, and they're turning random bad people into other lessers. I just know that because of stuff that I've seen in previous books. So that's option number 1, that it was completely intentional and she's a literary genius. Or 2, there were people like me who were just incessantly bitching to her all the time about how boring the lesser chapters were, so she just kind of weeded them out. I prefer to think the first one. But it is true, like this entire book, there was really kind of only one lesser heavy part of it, but it didn't really matter. I knew basically what was going on because of all of that buildup that she had in the first couple of books. So now just inherently I know in the background the lessers are doing really, really effed up stuff. I don't need there to be a chapter telling me, hey, the lessers are doing really, really effed up stuff. Another thing that I was super, super, super excited about to see in this book was the basis for the foundation of that spin-off series that I was talking about earlier. Not too long ago on Facebook, she talked about how she was going to release a spin-off series from this series that takes place in the training program that they shut down in the series, but now it's back. And it follows, you know, young trainees and stuff. And I was just like, wait, what? I was like, where did this come from? I like heard nothing about this. I was like, did I miss a blog post? Did I miss a Facebook status? Was this something she talked about at one of her signing events and I just wasn't there, so I didn't hear about it? what is this? So then I looked it up on Amazon, and sure enough, there it is. And I don't remember what it's called, but I do remember that it centers around a main character. I think each book is going to center around a different main character, like these ones do. And the first main character that we focus on is a girl named Paradise. So I was just really hella confused. I had no idea who this girl was, where she came from, if there was gonna be any, explanation behind any of this, or if she was just gonna jump straight into this new series. I didn't really know. But then this book arrived. I'm reading it. I get a few chapters in, and then all of a sudden, Paradise shows up. Yes, so apparently Paradise is Abalone, who is Wrath's new, first assistant or something. Apparently Paradise is his daughter, and the Brotherhood has just recently sent out this mass email recruiting trainees for the Brotherhood training program, which they have just reinstated. Special thing about this announcement, it says that females are more than welcome to try out. And this really perks Paradise's attention. She's kind of been seeking this freedom, and she's kind of surrounded by some misogynistic old tradition douchebags. So she really wants to get out there in the world and do her part. And that's where the basis for the entire side story thing comes from, and I was just so happy to see that because I was so lost, and then I was like, oh, I was lost, but now I'm found, and it's just so great. This book was also really great for me, at least, in the fact that it strayed away from the typical structure, I guess, that she normally takes, which is guy meets girl, they have problems, they work out problems come back, they work out problems, yada yada yada, and then they end up happy in the end. Yeah, that didn't happen. No! Just, oh, this book gets so sad. I cried, I'll admit it, I cried a couple of times because, oh man, this book, it just punches you in the soul. It's so ridiculous. But the thing was, even while I was reading it and Selena died, I was like, oh, I shouldn't be crying. I mean, it's sad, but I know she's gonna come back. It's a J.R. Ward book, and there's no way that her and Trez aren't gonna end up together in the end. Just something's gonna happen. The scribe virgin's going to step in, or they're going to magically find some cure at the last moment. Everything's gonna be super duper awesome, and everyone's gonna be happy, and it's gonna be adorable. But no, that is not what happened. And that was just really a wake-up call. And I think that's why she did it. I think that people were probably saying, oh, her books are getting so formulaic, and somehow, some way, even the most dire consequences and in the most dire of situations, they always end up together, even when it's not realistic. And I think this was her giving those people the middle finger, saying, you know what? No, not every time does everything wind up in this nice, neat little bow. Sometimes shit happens and it's just really, really crappy and there's nothing you can do about it. So, as heartbreaking as that was, it was also nice to see her stray away from the little train track that she's kind of been on since the beginning of the series. Also, it really, really surprised me just how long we have left until Layla has her babies. Which also, spoiler, she's having 2 babies now. Which also scares me because as far as history in this book series goes, twins equals bad time. So I'm just like, no, Quinn has been through enough shit. He does not need to deal with some really bad twin juju as well. Just everyone needs a break. Everyone needs a break. Just everybody. So that's really interesting, but also all of her stuff that's going on with Core, I'm pretty sure that's how you say his name, all of the stuff that's going on between her and Core is just getting so messy and complicated. And I don't see this tying up as nicely as I'm sure so many other people are hoping it's going to. I definitely see this being problematic. And considering how she's obviously taking to, jumping off the tracks a little bit, I'm afraid for them. I really am. I am afraid for Core and Layla. Yeah, it just seems like she has been pregnant forever. I guess that's because Bella, Zadis' Shellen, she was pregnant for not a very long time. It just seemed like that pregnancy went by so fast. I mean, she finds out like in the middle of the book that she's pregnant or something, and then by the end of the book, Nala is born. So that was extremely quick. And then of course Beth just had her baby, but she's half vampire, so her pregnancy went by much faster. But still, just seems like Layla has been pregnant for like half the series. Even though I think it's only been like 2 or 3 books now that she's been pregnant, still, it seems like it's been forever. And then there's Thro, that little douche muffin. Just, oh man. That boy is gonna cause problems. And they are not gonna be, you know, no piddly ass size problems either. Like, he is just gonna be the biggest thorn in their sides since probably Lash, which is saying something. And last thing I'm going to mention is this stuff that is going on with Rage. Like, I cannot explain to you how infuriating it is that I have no idea what is going on with him. Obviously, it's gonna be a big thing because she announced on Facebook, I think yesterday, that the 2016 Black Dagger Brotherhood book is going to be called The Beast. And of course that means it's going to be centering around Rage. So I'm just super duper afraid. Like, oh my gosh, what is gonna happen to Rage? What is happening to Rage? Just so much stuff is happening in these books now, and just, oh man, I wish she would release 2 of these a year, because waiting a year in between these books every time is literally torturous. Just these books and these characters just suck you into their world, and you feel like you're amongst friends and family and you love them oh so much, and then before you know it, the book is over and you have to wait a full year before you can get sucked back into this world and these characters again, and it's just so heartbreaking. But yes, I so much enjoyed this book. I love this series to death. These characters, all of them, are my babies, and I love them just so much. I gave this book 5 out of 5 stars. It was absolutely fantastic. Loved it above and beyond. I just, JR, I am in awe of you. So that is it for my review of The Shadows. I hope that none of you non-spoilery people stuck around and listened to all that, because seriously, you guys need to go out and pick up these books. They are so freaking fantastic. Just everyone needs to read these. Everybody. And then everyone needs to talk to me about them because I love them so freaking much I could die. That is it. That is all that I have for you guys today. As always, thanks you guys for watching. I will see you next time, and remember, books are the escape.